Hi there, hope you're doing good. Let's jump right into the topic. So in this video, we'll be talking about objects, fields and records. Let's start off with what are objects, fields and records. So Salesforce, being a CRM platform, has its own database. As in every other database, even here you will be having table, columns and data. Only where terminology differs. Like for example, here we have this table called customers, right? So we'll call this as customer object. And these columns, name, phone number, gender and location, so these would be termed as fields. And here the data we have, right? So these would be called as records in Salesforce terminologies. Now we will dig deep into each topic. So firstly, objects. There are basically two different types of objects: standard objects and custom objects. So Salesforce themselves would provide a few objects which they think that might be helpful for the customers. So those objects are called standard objects. Like for example, we have the accounts objects, which was provided by Salesforce themselves, where we can store, the data about accounts. If let's say if it is about a hospital, then we can store data about the hospitals. Similarly, we can store, the point of contact details here in the contacts standard object. Then custom objects. So obviously users will be creating a few objects. So those objects are called custom objects. So we can differentiate between standard objects and custom objects. How we can do that is, so every single object would have a label and a unique name to it, which we call it as API name. So for a custom object, the API name would be appended with underscore underscore C. So that is how we can differentiate between a standard object and custom object. Next is of fields. Okay, fields are of two types: standard fields and custom fields. The definition would be pretty similar. The fields which are provided by the Salesforce themselves are standard, and the ones which are created by the users are custom fields. So even the custom objects would have some standard fields, like the created date, created by, last modified date and stuff. Similarly, we can also create custom fields for standard objects. Again, it could be differentiated using this unique API name being appended with underscore underscore C for a custom field. Let's discuss about the field creation. So basically, the object creation would be pretty straightforward. Obviously, it would have different sections to be filled out, but it's just we can discuss more about it in the upcoming video. But here, whereas in the field creation, it is multi-step process, unlike the object creation, which is a one-step process. So here in field creation, for the first step would be of selecting a data type. So by data type, we mean like in Salesforce we have 20 to 25 data types. Like we could specify whether our field has to be a text field or a pick list field or an auto number field, whatever it is. So we can select that here in the first step of data type selection. Then it will lead to the next step of providing the field details. So here in this particular field details, we'll be providing the field name and stuff like that. Then it will lead to the FLS. FLS is the field level security. So we can't provide access to all the users to all the fields, right? So business would ask us to restrict the some field access to particular users. So that is what we will be doing at FLS. But remember, this is being done at the profile level. Like we will be providing access for a particular field for a particular profile and not for some other profile. So that is how FLS would work. This finally would lead to our final step, page layout assignment. So as you would have known, every single object would have different page layouts. So here in this step, we will be defining at which page layouts this new field has to be accessible by the users. So with all these four steps, it would end the process of field creation. Finally, records. As we have discussed in the very first slide, the data of the Salesforce database is called the records. So these records are being created by the users. As you have seen in the first slide again, there will be a few data like the name of the customer, the phone number of the customer, gender of the customer, right? So those will be provided by the users, which we call here as records. So this is the basic idea of what are fields, objects and records. So let's end this video with a quick fact. So let's say we are creating a field with the name as phone number in a particular object, let's say customer object, and we it has its API name as phone underscore number underscore underscore C. Then we are trying to create another field in the same object customer with the same API name phone underscore number underscore underscore C. Then we can't actually do that. Salesforce restrict a field in one particular object with the same API names. So we need to provide a different API name for this. I hope you get to understand about the fields, objects, and records. Thank you. Have a good day and happy learning.